In today's video, I'm going to show you guys a step-by-step process of me building my gaming PC, and I'm going to give you a detailed explanation of how you can build a PC like this one with no case around it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, but without further ado, let's get right into the build. So this right here is an open chassis PC case that I got off Amazon, and it cost me around 65 bucks. And yes, it comes in a ton of pieces just like IKEA furniture, but honestly, it's not too hard to build. And thankfully, they do provide a good set of digital instructions that I have on my phone right next to me in the frame. I also really like how they included all the tools that I would need to do this build, but of course some of the fancier electric screwdrivers are obviously not included. Right here you see me finishing up the base, and the open chassis PC frame is all done. For this build, I went with the ROG Strix Z890E gaming Wi-Fi motherboard, which cost me around 425 bucks. For RAM, I went with 64 gigabytes of DDR5 clocked at 6000 megahertz. For storage, I picked up a Samsung 9100 Pro 8TB M.2 SSD, and if you guys are thinking 8 terabytes is a lot, right after I finished this build, I ended up adding 2 more M.2 drives totaling 14 terabytes. So now I can handle any Warzone update without having to delete my other games ever again. For my CPU, I went with the Intel Core 7 Ultra, which was on sale for 310 bucks. Now, I'd normally recommend doing this part with the case laying down flat, but for video purposes, I did it upright so you guys could actually see what I was doing. This is a 1000 watt Corsair PSU, and if you're wondering how it attaches, there's these little brackets you just screw into the frame, and then the PSU screws in like normal. The other weird thing about an open chassis build is there's no buttons or ports on it, so right now you can see me manually adding a power and reset switch to the front of the chassis. It's honestly not too difficult to do, but the wiring is gonna look bad no matter what because there's just no way to hide it. So right now you guys see me adding a bracket to the back of the motherboard. This way I can screw my CPU cooler on later. And now for the moment of truth, let's see if I put the correct amount of thermal paste on the CPU. And if I don't, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna let me know down in the comment section below anyway. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and apply even pressure to all 4 screws, making sure that the CPU cooler is nice and even as it goes on. This way we'll have proper contact across the entire CPU and there won't be any overheating issues. And right here you see me debating if I should put the radiator on top or on the back of the chassis. At this point, I start wiring up my build, and you can see I actually initially decided to put the radiator on the back of the build. This part is the most difficult because cable management is nearly impossible when it comes to an open chassis PC. And that's primarily because there is 0 chance of you actually hiding any of these cables. And now it's time to install my 4080 Super Founders Edition, and this part was definitely difficult because I had to constantly adjust the GPU bracket, ensuring that my GPU is not going to be sagging. I definitely could have used a third pair of hands for this. Oh yeah, and I get asked this a lot. Those red cables, by the way, are called Corsair Pro PSU cables. So yeah, this is how it turned out, guys. I think out of all 8 PCs that I've built so far, this one by far is my favorite. The open chassis build to me just screams enthusiast. It screams special. When people walk into my studio and they see this, a lot of people have said things like it looks like a trophy, doesn't even look like a gaming PC, but the best part is it has pretty much maximum performance. I know I don't have a 5090 right now, but seriously, like it really does max out any video games that I want to play competitively. It helps me do all my editing and workflow. So not only does it look really cool, but this thing is actually extremely functional and sturdy as well. So I couldn't be a higher advocate for this type of build. The only downsides to me, I have a cat. And my cat is constantly attracted to the heat on this. He's tried to nibble the GPU cables. He's even tried to touch the GPU, so a little bit nervous about that. And I definitely highly recommend that you get the GPU stands that can kind of help prop it up. Actually, in this orientation, it's not the best. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to order a vertical GPU mount as well and a riser cable. That way I can actually just kind of turn this, because I think the GPU being a little bit tighter onto the body of the chassis is going to be good long term. So if I've learned anything so far from having this build for about a month, it's that, like, just consider maybe doing a vertical GPU. But yeah, anyway, if you guys are new and you like the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and go check out one of these, because for some reason YouTube's saying you might like them. I don't know.